Hey, here we are, season 2 catch up. I've had about 11 episodes so far. It's been a wonder and an amazing meeting all different types of people. Just incredible of people's lives. Like everyone's got little interesting stories and where they've sort of gone and come from. It's been incredible. Anyway, here we are. Season 2, I've been a little bit sporadic over the summer, but it's been a ton of fun because I've got a lot of pickleball in, skated, got to travel a bit, hung out with the family a lot, which has been fantastic. And now it's sort of just with them going back to school, getting a little bit more on a schedule, and then being able to like crank out some more episodes and get right into it. So the first episode I had Sophia on, and she was just a delightful charm. And one of the things I really picked up on her, made me feel nostalgic, was I think the question was, what do you do for fun? And I think just going in car rides and listening to music, and that to me like reminded me back in the day of like me and my mates going down at night with nothing to do, and we just go sit in the car and talk and listen to the radio and just like shoot the shit. It was really sort of nice, and just her personality was sort of pretty kind of cool. I did, with the illustration, I wanted to sort of give that sort of vibe to it as well. And the illustration, as you can see right here, you can see it's got a car, her favorite animal is a giraffe, and listen to music and that sort of stuff. Obviously you can see that. One of the things I wanted to point out is that I'm not the best at drawing cars, like I don't claim to be, but I did grab an influence by a guy I follow on Instagram, Colin and Hood. I'll put a link in the description, and that sort of helped sort of guide sort of where I was going with it. I already had the idea for the type of car I wanted because I want a long like a giraffe, and he just happened to have one that was sort of similar, so I was able to sort of steal like an artist, as some might say, with his stuff. The second episode was a rad dude named Flavius, and one, I was just impressed, and as I am with all guests, just with themselves, but also his story. So he was an immigrant from Romania, but he also had to flee there, and he was telling me, or told us, about his dad, how he didn't have, his dad's first words were like paper and plastic that he learned in English, and then he goes on to be a doctor, and then to take that even further, his dad does Doctors Without Borders, and then now they run an organization which Flavius, I think, directs. They run an organization where they go and put little hospital outposts in these like remote communities so they can look after themselves, and they then school the people to then look after themselves. It is just incredible. I feel inferior of just doing a podcast and trying to entertain people with drawings, but his drawing, like he really loved the line, and loves golf, so I really wanted to sort of just play into that and give him something soft and fun. I don't want to say soft, but just fun, and something it was entertaining for him. It was really kind of cool, and the drawing's kind of fun. Everything sort of, I was trying to also hide pencils in it, in the first two you might see, but then after that I forgot to do it, so maybe on season 3 I'll remember to hide the pencils. So on the third episode we had Ina, and Ina sort of runs her own advertising company, which was really cool because she worked at a news TV station, Cairo I think it was, for like 30 years or something like that. And that not only was impressive, but she then also decided to jump out and do her own thing. And as we know, or if you've listened to me on any of this, I love the fact that people exploring their own and taking their own adventures, the whole part of this podcast. And so that was really impressive to me. One thing that I really noticed with hers is that how much she loves her dog. Like even when we were there, she would like look over at her dog, or like before or after, she would she just loves her dog. So the illustration was based around advertising, and then the love for her dog. Like you'd be driving down and you'd see like a billboard, and it'd be, oh, here's a dog going by, and you can sort of see as if she's doing it, getting in there and doing the grunt work and putting the thing up herself. That was kind of a fun illustration. Also, just a cool little piece. I thought it was kind of cool. So what we have here is Moritz, and this is, I think, episode 4, and this is just a young cat who has just said yes to adventures, and being someone that's moved country and then speaking the language of that country and knowing how many differences there are in that country between, and like cultural verbiage, all that. And this guy just like, yep, I'm going to go to, well, first of all, he came across as a nanny, and then and worked down in San Francisco, and then he was up in Seattle going to school up here. And that sort of just blew my mind that this cat would just do it. He doesn't know anyone here. He just said, I'm going to go do this, which was pretty amazing. The illustration was I wanted to show like his favorite animals, big dogs. Like, it was very deliberately said big dogs. So I was imagining like a Great Dane sitting in this like cram spot. He loves to read. He's going to school, and then the cats, they're smaller, they're just lounging, they're relaxing because it's so good. But so he's making this like uncomfortable effort to get somewhere. And in the windows you can see there's a little bit of a castle at the back one, and then there's Seattle in the front one. I thought that was a little touch. Ooh. So now we're on to Jim. Jim is a guy I sort of know through pickleball here, but he's just a nice character. He's just a enjoyable character, very, very welcoming when we got to the pickleball court. So we sat down, we started chatting, and his love for math sort of just really shined through. And I love, not only do I love when people have like something that they really love to do, but I also really enjoy the problem solving of like math and stuff like that. I'm terrible at it, but I like the thought that people are doing that. And also, he was really sort of raw and honest about how he's overcome his controlling issues, and I thought that was a really nice moment that we got to share. On the illustration, I thought it was fun to share our love for pickleball. I might have exaggerated his beard just a touch, but I also wanted to show some sort of the mathematical equation that he's coming into to make the best shot or the serve. Now, that is a real math equation that I found online and I copied. I do not know if that is accurate, but I hope it is. Do I know what it means? Not an idea, but seems good to me. On the next person we have is John. Now, John is this older dude, and he's just a nice guy, and he would rock up. I just had known him around from playing pickleball once again, and he just had this like demeanor of like just super nice chatting. He'd rock up in jeans and just sort of play the game and would hang out. So I was like, hey John, like come over and jump on this. Find out that he was best friends with Evel Knievel is not something I had on my bingo card for life. So then I was like, well, how do I, this guy's so active. Like, as you see in the drawing, he does bowling, he does golf, he plays pickleball. And I was like, well, I didn't want to make this all about Evel Knievel. I still wanted to be about John himself. So I was like, how can I add this little touch to it that would add it? And I then add the Evel Knievel sort of logo, sort of feel, the stars and stripes onto the hat. And that I felt was a nice little touch. And the illustration, it was actually really sweet. He was able to show his daughter who was in town the illustration, and he loved it. So the next one is Frenny. Frenny is such a delight. She's just a happy ball of energy. She's just so nice and funny, and we have a lot of fun. So Frenny told this story about how her daughter was like, hey mum, let's go get a dog. And there's more to the story. I'm very paraphrasing here. They get the dog back, and the dog is they think it's going to be this little fluffy dog. Oh, it's going to be so nice. Then it turns out to be a big behemoth of a dog. Super nice dog. Big behemoth of a dog. They love the dog, but I thought it was a very funny story that they went and picked it out and grabbed it and rolled with the punches of this big dog. She's a big pickleball player. I wanted to give the dog, make it like larger than life, so I had the dog like big enough that it's like dominating the pickleball court, and then as I feel like most big dogs do, I know that they don't, but like drooling, like shoveling, like trying to, I really like drawing drool as well because it gives so much like character and feel to it. But anyway, so that was really fun. Franny was a delight. Go listen to that episode. It's really, really fun. And yeah, I think the dog turned out pretty well. Yeah. All right, so on the next one we have Jay. Jay, I was sitting in the coffee shop sort of just hanging out, and what I do is I sit there just waiting for people to sort of rock up, and Jay walks over and he sort of looks at the equipment and he goes, "Oh, hey, I'm Jay." And we sort of chat for a second. "Oh, I'm happy to do this." We sit down and I find out that he's a creator as well. But he's a part-time genius, I would say. I don't know if you can be a part-time genius, but anyway. So he creates ionic moving boats, which I had no idea what a freaking ionic moving boat was. So it's a boat that can move with high voltage electricity through it without having any moving parts. And I thought, that's incredible. So with the illustration, I wanted to have this like genius type dude to sort of creating this like masterpiece, like science, like almost like Frankenstein creating his monster type thing. And I wanted to sort of had that sort of energy. And there's this couple of graphics he shows, and you'll see the dots going behind the dude in the illustration, and that sort of like represents his stuff. If you get a chance, go check out his channel, Plasma Channel, and I'll set a link in the description, or check out his episode as well. It was super fun to do. So this one I was really excited about as well, because I went to a little podcast movement meetup, and I ran into these people that help put the Mackie gear out there and everything. I sort of got to meet them and chat with them, and the main guy, Matt, was there, and we just sort of started chatting. We hit it off. Their equipment is just so amazing that I was like, oh man, that's amazing. And the thought that they put into it and how they think about what should work and what shouldn't and what's worth having in there and not was really impressive. So we started chatting, and he said, hey, do you want to come to the headquarters, and then we'll do an interview out there? And I was like, oh, heck yeah. And so I felt like a little wig, but in a big wig sort of place. And I'm like, oh man, setting it up, it was really nice. Got to use their equipment, which sounded phenomenal. And then Matt was just like, he's so excited about his job, about the equipment that he's doing, and that was a really, really fun interview, because we got to talk sort of like business side of things, but also like personal side of things as well, and that was kind of a cool sort of take on it. Matt's little love for audio and music and all that sort of stuff was right there, and his choice of animal was different than I thought it was going to be. So a pygmy marmoset. So it was fun to learn how to draw those. I've never drawn one before, so that was kind of cool. And yeah, I really liked how the illustration turned out. So then we have Brad Walker, and I feel like I'm rambling on a little bit, but here we are. This is a one-shot take. No, we're not getting another one. So Brad Walker, I'm sitting there in the coffee shop, and he pops in. He's like, I'm down to do this, and he goes, we've got to make it quick. So it was kind of fun, because like the energy was there to sort of pound it out and get it going. One thing that I sort of took away from his interview is he's just himself without trying to be himself. He just is I really like doing this. I'm not big into music, but to say that like his blood gets boiling when he hears the Final Fantasy VII soundtrack, and that's what he'll listen to pump out like music. Like I listen to like rap music, and I'm like the lyrics, and I'm like getting into it. And he's like, let me put on this Final Fantasy VII. That was so cool to me. So he also like was kind enough to like share one of the like character voices he does, and that sort of helped inform the illustration. And also, he loves frogs and has never touched a frog, and that blew my mind. So then it had to be a frog and a gold miner. Listen to the episode, you'll love it. Alright, so we have Nathan here, and this illustration was I was really stoked to do it because it was the first time in all of this that someone had reached out to me to say, hey, can I be on the episode? And I was so amped just that someone would want to make that effort. And so we got down, we had this really great conversation about him drumming for a circus, about him working on TV, television, trying to make his dream come true by even having to take jobs at as a valet and driving expensive cars and doing it that way. And then finding out his favorite car is his 78 Dodge van. And so I wanted to recreate that and also give his like drumming a feel and love for it. So that was a really sort of fun drawing to do. And it's kind of fun to do stuff that's out of your realm. Like I know I've done 2 cars in this, but it was fun to sort of see if I could make it work again. And I like the movement. It looked a little like car-ish like the movie, but little influence. And yeah, so here we are, end of season 2, and I have had such a blast. I'm excited for season 3. I got a couple of interviews in the works, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it. Let me know if you have any feedback, if you want to be on the podcast, if you want to do anything. Yeah, peace.